Next, let's take a look at various DeFi related analytics, such as total value locked. So total value locked refers to the number of assets currently locked in a protocol. This could be a lending protocol or in a decentralized exchange and more. This value does not factor in outstanding loans, only capital that is secured by a DeFi app. TVL is one of the most popular metrics used to measure the condition of a protocol. High or increasing total value locked indicate that there is growing interest and use in the protocol, whereas a low or decreasing TVL indicates that interest and money is leaving the protocol. Now, TVL is used in conjunction with a coin's market capitalization to calculate the market cap to total value locked ratio. The basic idea is you have the market capitalization and you divide that by the total value locked. Now, this ratio can be useful when determining if an asset is undervalued or overvalued. Generally, if the TVL ratio is under 1, then the protocol could be considered undervalued. If you think about it, if we see a number under 1, this implies that the market capitalization is lower than the amount that is invested or locked into the protocol. And this is something we're going to see in the next few slides. We'll take a look at different calculations and how this plays out in terms of actually analyzing the different DeFi protocols. So a great website to analyze and look at DeFi metrics is DeFi Pulse. This particularly focuses on Ethereum blockchains and Ethereum related protocols, such as on Ethereum, on Polygon Matic, and a few other scaling solutions. But it is planning on adding other blockchains such as Solana, Cardano in the future, for what I understand. So here we see total value locked in DeFi. If you go to the main page, you'll see this constantly updated every day. Currently, it's about a $75.49 billion is locked into DeFi. That means it's locked into loans or into lending protocols, liquidity pools, and decentralized autonomous organizations. We see currently 20% of that is invested in Maker. So Maker DAO, these are the creators behind the DAI stablecoin. Here we see a significant amount of that money is invested into Maker. We also see on the right side total value USD locked in DeFi. This is on a 90-day scale, 90-day period, but we can put this to all-time high, all-time readings as well. So I believe this starts around 2016, 2017 is when they started tracking this. But we can see at least for the past 90 days, from December 2021 going into mid-March 2022, there's been a steady decline. TVL readings were well over $100 billion, nearing $105 billion at some point in late December. And there's been a steady decline, reaching lows as far as about maybe 72 billion or so. Currently, we're on a somewhat of an upswing, and this does correlate very frequently. This will correlate with the greater cryptocurrency market and pretty much what Bitcoin is doing at that given time. So let's take a closer look at some key DeFi coins. So here are some analytics regarding Maker DAO. So Maker is the governance token behind the Maker DAO protocol. It's a lending and borrowing protocol where you could borrow money, you could deposit ETH as collateral and receive a loan in DAI, which is the stablecoin. They're issued stablecoin. They're the creators of that behind DAI. Here we see, in terms of total value locked, we see about $15.51 billion, which is a 3% increase in the past 24 hours. You can also see these measurements in terms of Ethereum and also in terms of in Bitcoin. We see the amount of Ethereum locked and the percentage supply locked. We see what Bitcoin, what blockchain it is, and the protocol token. Now, generally, this is the all-time reading. So from 2018, we see tremendous increase in terms of valuation and investments in this protocol. The protocol has really grown and has matured to the point where it is the leading protocol in DeFi today and has been for quite some time. It actually reached an all-time high of, in terms of total value locked in the protocol, of about $20 billion. So a little over $20 billion was actually invested into Maker. Currently, that has retraced to about 15, a little over 15, which is still considerably higher than what it was in January 2021, right? In January 2021, it started the year off at about $12.5 billion. So it's still a noticeable increase year over year. Now, here are some more in-depth analytics about the token. Here's the Maker token. Currently, it's about $1,923. Currently up about 6% in the past 24 hours. We see that its market cap is about $1 billion, $880 million. So 1.88 billion, and its total value locked at this given point. This is according to CoinMarketCap. Its total value locked is about $15.17 billion. And if we divide the market cap by the TVL, we get a TVL ratio of about 0.1237. So this is an indication that the coin is actually undervalued, right? And it makes sense. How can there be $15 billion invested in this protocol, but yet there's only $1.88 billion invested in the governance token? It doesn't necessarily make sense. And there is a big portion of that is due to Bitcoin and the overall crypto market being in a downturn, for the time being. But generally, this actually is a sign of the strength of DeFi, because the market cap of this coin has deteriorated, right? We don't have exact readings of where it was 6 months ago, but following the rest of the crypto markets, there has been a general decline going into Q1 and Q2 of 2022. The TVL, though, while it has declined, there's still a significant amount of money, and a large sum, about $15.17 billion, which is considerably higher than the actual market cap of Maker as well. So this implies that this is an undervalued figure. This should really be higher if there is so much use in money invested into the actual protocol itself. Once again, we're going to take a look at Aave. So Aave is another lending and borrowing protocol on Ethereum. We see that currently there's little over $9 billion invested in Aave, or total value locked, I should say, is locked into Aave protocols. There's about 1.13% of the supply is locked. It is actually multi-chain. It's based on Ethereum and Polygon, but it also has launched on several other networks such as Avalanche and a few others as well. Their most locked is Wrapped ETH, and their protocol token is Aave. And we've seen, pretty much similar to Maker, we've seen tremendous growth. Aave was actually the leading lending protocol for some time, especially in early and mid 2022, up until about September, October 2021, I should say, when Maker would actually overtake its place and would reach those new all-time highs. Aave is currently one of the leading protocols in terms of lending and borrowing. Still very popular, still attracting a significant amount of capital. Currently, we have seen declines since October of 2021, correlating with the rest of the market, but generally still maintaining value and significantly higher than what it was year over year. I mean, even looking towards where it was in January 2021, it was about $6 billion, right? Right now it's about 9. So that's a 50% increase from 6 to 9 just in a year alone. Take a look at the financial metrics of Aave. So the market cap is about $1.73 billion. The total value locked is about $11.6 billion. And if we were to do the math, you divide the market cap by the TVL, we get the TVL ratio of 0.1488, indicating that the Aave token is undervalued in comparison to the total value locked. There's a lot of much more money is invested into the protocol than there is actually into the coin. And once again, this is due to the general fear that is in financial circles at this particular time, particularly pertaining to crypto or in downturn. We're in much more of a risk-off market environment. Now, I don't want you to take that as financial advice and say, oh, buy Aave. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying this is a sign and another metric to look into and to consider when evaluating these DeFi coins. Last but not least, we'll take a look at one more DeFi coin. So this is Compound, another lending and borrowing protocol on Ethereum. It has a total value locked of $6.65 billion, so a little bit lower than Aave and significantly lower than Maker, right? About 0.97% is locked away. It is on the Ethereum blockchain, and its protocol token would be Comp or Compound. Correlating with much of the market, we have seen tremendous growth in Compound. Compound actually was the leading lending and borrowing protocol in around March and April 2021. It was overtaken by Aave at some point. After this point, we saw a downturn in Compound, but Aave continued to grow. And what's interesting here is that Aave would actually decline as Maker would reach these all-time highs and really take the crown. So we are seeing a shift in these lending and borrowing protocols, where it's not just one central figure that's controlling all of it. And the competition and innovation is continuous, and it's always exciting to see how these protocols are re-innovating themselves and competing with one another for the DeFi space and control of the DeFi space. Generally, we have seen declines since October 2021. Compound reached all-time highs of about $12.5 billion and has declined to about $6.5 billion. Still noticeably higher than where it was in January, right? January was somewhere around 7, maybe somewhere between 5 and 7 billion. It currently is about 6. I would say it's still higher. It's just about where it was, but maybe not necessarily noticeably as higher as Aave and Maker were compared to January 2021. But still overall growth over the year. Yeah, and we are also in a downturn in a crypto bear market, if you will. So something to take note of as well. Taking a look at Compound financial metrics. So Compound has a market capitalization of $705 million. So this is noticeably smaller than the other two previous coins that we have analyzed. Its total value locked is $6.5 billion, and the TVL ratio is about 0.1081. So once again, that is an indication, a sign that the amount invested in Compound, the actual token, is considerably lower than the total value locked, indicating that the coin is undervalued, right? This should be valued higher if there's still so much capital invested into the protocol itself, right? The protocol has almost $7 billion invested into it. Why is only $700 million invested into the coin? So something that we may want to look deeper in and try to figure out why these lending protocol tokens are undervalued. Next, we'll take a look at DApp, or decentralized applications, and their usage. So when comparing decentralized applications, We can use analytics and metrics to compare and contrast different applications within the same realm or within the same category or sector. And we can compare them based on the number of users, the volume or the transaction volume that these dApps see, and their total value locked and or balances. So a great website for that is DApp Radar, or Decentralized App Radar is a great website to track the balances, the user growth, and volume and general activity of many decentralized apps. And it's actually not limited to just Ethereum. You'll see many chains on here: Ethereum, Polygon, Binance Smart Chain. You'll see Solana, you'll see Waves, you'll see Avalanche, and many others, as you can see here up top. And as we can see, we could sort these by category. If you want to look at just gaming decentralized apps, you'll see that Axie Infinity is one of the leading, if not the leading, decentralized gaming, DeFi gaming platforms and protocols. It has a tremendous amount of users, 772,000 users, and it sees about $2 billion in terms of volume, transacted volume, 5.81 balance in terms of value locked. And this is a significant number just for a game, right? Compare it to, let's say, something like Uniswap, which is arguably the most popular and most successful decentralized exchange. This has a balance of $9.71 billion. It has 582,000 users. And we see here $24.31 billion exchanged in terms of volume. So, this is something to keep in mind, that even just for a game, it really has grown so much and has become such a major part of the DeFi space. And it's something that it's useful. You can start to compare different applications in different sectors. I want to, say, like, if you're analyzing decentralized exchanges, you can sort just by exchanges and analyze them based on these different metrics. Check out their activity metrics, see which ones are seeing more use compared to the other ones. And a major part of that, we can start to see possibly why. We could check their fee structure. We could check what blockchain they're on. And this can help navigate and solidify your searches and answer any questions you may have as to why a certain coin may be performing well as opposed to others.